because of his push strategy and disable.
Sure enough, sure enough. So we do have Darkseer and Shadow Demon coming on out, and that'll be very interesting to start things off. It adds a lot of dynamic aspect to the lineup here. Darkseer going with the off lane. He's going to be presumably going to be going up on the solo top. And from there he can survive very effectively, Ion Shell down the creep wave to counter push a little bit and get some good experience. Once he moves towards the later levels, when he gets his maxed out vacuum, Ion Shell moves towards his Wall of Replica, he's going to be really, really powerful. And in the meantime, he's going to be able to farm up pretty effectively gold-wise, possibly pick up a Pipe of Insight or whatever the team really needs utility-wise to stay on the board. But the Shadow Demon kind of adding a little bit more lane presence on the tri-lane, specifically if they're going to go for a Shadow Demon tri-lane, that will work out pretty effectively for them as far as just what they can bring to the table of disruption, adding a lot of disable. They can chain that up with a Leshrac stun, Lena stun, really whatever they want to bring to the table. Could run as a dual mid, but interestingly enough, 3D Max getting the option to pick up the Wisp and the Chaos Knight. What do you think about that one?
Well, to be honest, I was expecting to have Wisp. He's gonna be on trial and definitely with CK, and I'm not sure will Nyx also be on tri lane. But as I said, maybe, just maybe they want to have Nyx on mid.
Yep, so they definitely...
Who's gonna be on solo lane?
It's hard to say. I mean, there's a lot of different options that they can go with there, and they could run a dual mid that could be very powerful. One way or another, though, they really want to get a lot of chaos farm on the Chaos Knight, try to get him beefed up with a really hard right-click spot. Probably go for the armlet pretty early on so that Wisp can overcharge him for so much potential damage. They can just kind of go on a huge ganking spree with that relocate all across the map, adding in a lot of global presence. But it's interesting that Sven counterpicks with the Gyrocopter. I generally consider Gyrocopter to be one hero that if he is in a numbers disadvantageous situation where he only has himself going up against two, like with that relocate situation, then he can get picked off pretty easily. But he does have a large amount of damage output, and they kind of have to respect how much he can bring forth, especially with that flat cannon hitting pretty much everybody on the map there. 1000 AoE, it's going to be anybody in the team fight is going to be impacted by that very directly. Same with the call down. Just a large amount of damage, but he does have to be mindful of his survivability. He needs to be a little bit more durable if he's going to be able to withstand, let's say, a 4-second cast bolt to the face, and that's going to be difficult. But anyways, going on into the banning phase, some pretty smart bans coming out. The Queen of Pain, the Enigma, the Bounty Hunter, and the Lone Druid. So taking a lot of things off the board. I think Sven is trying to ban out the off-lane type heroes right now. We're trying to make sure that if they are going for like a solo suicide bottom, that they don't get something that can survive very effectively against their current lineup.
Yeah, definitely true. I think you have some issues with your webcam. I'm sorry to interrupt you. You have some... They say that you have totally out of sync signs.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what that's about. I'm not getting any drop frames or anything like that. So, well, let me know, guys, in chat, since this is our first attempt at going on the DotaBro stream. If there is any issue with the webcam that continues up to this point and beyond, please let me know in chat. Otherwise, and I'll try to fix it. Otherwise, we'll try to keep on going as smoothly as possible. But yeah, not too much happening on the ban front. So, as far as how they're drafting right now, I think they're kind of going for an AoE-oriented lineup on Sven. The Darkseer vacuuming on into the Gyrocopter, can pop the call down, pop off that flat cannon, and do a lot of damage that way. Shadow Demon doesn't really add too much of it with the Shadow Poison, generally not even commonly skilled up that aggressively early on, but they do have a large amount of DPS in that small clumped up session. So
yeah, maybe they will pick Tide now.
Yeah, that would be a really good follow-up. Any kind of a large AoE disabled that they can get on a good area there of effect, that would be a really, really good option for them. And one thing I really think that's a smart draft of is going up against the Chaos Knight with that kind of mindset going into it, because the Phantasms can dish out a ton of DPS if you don't bring them down. They're 100% damage, but they are only 50% effective HP. So what you can do is just make sure you AoE them down as soon as they come on out, and then they won't be really that impactful. But otherwise, if you don't keep them in check, they can get out of control pretty quickly with those powerful illusions. But with the Clinks ban coming on out, they're going to pick up a Brewmaster, and that is really cool. I don't know how they're going to lane it, but it just adds so much more to their team fight with the power of the Primal Splits, disables, and damage coming on out.
Yeah, so let's say that Brewmaster is gonna be mid now, and they're gonna have like tri-lane with the CK and Nyx. So they will need right now like something for off lane. Let's say Windrunner probably, but she's still in the pool. Clinks is banned, Bounty Hunter is banned, so I'm not sure. Maybe they want a lane like that. Maybe they will go dual mid, or I don't know.
Yeah.
Jakiro is picked by SNS.
Yeah, I think 3D Max is going to have a hard time in the laning phase in general. I think they could go for maybe an aggressive tri-lane, like Nyx Assassin, Wisp, and CK together, Brewmaster in the mid, and they can pick a safe lane solo. They could switch that up, but again, not too many great suicide laners on the board. They're going to pick up the Windrunner, though,
Yeah,
and I
told
think
you,
she might
Windrunner
be
should be
one of the few that can survive. The one interaction there you have to watch out for is with Windrun rank 1 only being 2.75 seconds, the Shadow Demon can disrupt for that 2.5 and kind of nullify almost all the benefits there. So if they can force her to pop the Windrun before she's out of position of the Shadow Demon, then they can kind of bring her down, but otherwise whoever's picking up the Windrunner will be able to stay mobile and stay active and hopefully survive, as they're probably going to go for a defensive tri-lane or a 2-2-1 setup with the Wisp CK.
Yep. Well, it's almost impossible to run away from Shadow Demon's disruption and Ice Path combo, not to mention Gyro's rocket, or he's gonna max his thirst spell, I think. Right?
Yeah, if you're going for a farming build, I mean, you can just leave both the barrage and the homing missile, send them at about level 1, and then just go for the flat cannon. But the Night Stalker is the final pickup. I knew they were going for a solo mid, and I'm happy to see this one here. Like I said, he really improves the gank-oriented lineup that they have going on already. He doesn't really add to the AoE, but they already have Macro Pyre and Liquid Fire, Dual Breath, that kind of stuff to really go with Darkseer already. So they just wanted to get some single target, high pressure, and it looks like, at least from what I can tell, it looks like Hesta Joe is going to pick up the Brewmaster and go mid versus Kosan's on the Night Stalker, so that'll be pretty awesome going on through there. And you said you knew the Sven group pretty well?
Yeah, let's say they are my mates. I know them from gaming, of course. They're from my country. I know them from matchmaking and all those stuff, but they announced me like, hey, we made it in top 16, we can do this. And I said, whoa, good job, guys. I hope you can do something really good. Since they played on DotaBro like for fun, it wasn't serious, anything, and then it popped up, okay, we made to top 16.
Sure enough, that's really cool. So they're going to go up against 3D Max, and it's kind of a little bit of trial by fire going up against a team of this caliber here, but I definitely think their lineup is very well drafted, and they could definitely make something happen here. They're going to start off with a smoke on the bottom and try to play very aggressively going on into it. Going to be looking for an opportunity to find somebody in the bottom lane, hopefully looking for that Windrunner when she goes for possibly a ward or something like that, but unfortunately for them, Ace, not having any of that, picks up some regen and heads towards the top lane to kind of have some cohesion with his teammates for the time being. But so it is 100 gold down the drain for that smoke. That probably won't hit on anything, but at least they know that their jungle is under control. They won't have to worry about wards blocking off the pole and things of that nature.
Exactly. Everyone is playing now defensively, so no problem at all for pre-pooling and everything. I need to lower my volume a bit. It's too loud. Oh my god. I'm really sorry.
No problem.
And this announcer. Oh my god.
But it looks like Nyx Assassin is definitely picking up the supportive role here. Hyak is going to be going for wards and a lot of consumables, so really just by nature going to be roaming around a lot and trying to make sure that the CK gets the most farm as possible. Probably rushing for treads and armlet. That would be presumably the best option there. I mean, drums isn't a bad option on him. It just doesn't give him really large damage output early on, which I think they're kind of going for here. But really, I think the key for 3D Max's strategy in teamfights is going to have to be disable and nuke down that gyrocopter as rapidly as possible, or they're going to be suffering the consequences of that flat cannon dishing out so much damage. And it looks like gyrocopter himself is either going for Tranquil Boots or a Ring of Aquila to kind of make sure that his laning and farming is very, very stable.
Well, if Shadow Demon or Jakiro is roaming all the time, they can easily take out and stack all the Asians on the top lane for their carry, so he can easily get his items and everything. So
yeah,
Windrunner is just gonna stay in the back, like at the top. Darkseer, but to be honest, Darkseer has a bit of, let's say, advantage for farming with Ion Shell.
Yeah,
like
he can get some gold at a long
Windrunner.
distance there, definitely. I mean, the power shot's pretty good, but it costs a lot of mana, even at early ranks, so you're going to have to watch that pretty effectively there. But in mid lane, Hesta Joe is going to be the first one to pick up his bottle there. Took a bit of harassment from the Night Stalker just to make sure he could secure some last hits, but picking up for the 5th, he did have 350 gold stored up, so he will have his bottle en route, and same with the Night Stalker. So kind of on even ground just a little bit there. But when it comes down to it, these two are just complete brawlers. They have a lot of HP, a decent amount of armor, and they're going to be able to just duke it out back and forth rather effectively one way or another. So there is some action on Windrunner on the bottom lane, but it looks like that Windrunner will keep her active. She most likely will be knocked down by the homing missile, but other than that, just going to have to pop a tango and she'll be back up to snuff.
We see here at he's maxing his barrage. Maybe he's not going for a cannon.
Interesting.
Hmm.
That'll definitely work a lot better for them when they get a good disruption and demonic purge off, and they can slow
Ice
down
Pet, yeah.
the enemy. And just if they can stay on top of her, that's going to be able to do the most damage when she has that Windrunner active. And it's going to go for heavy kill aggression. But the fact of the matter is, he's free farming very aggressively right now, sitting at 9 and 7. Same thing with the Chaos Knight. So both of them very on par as far as making sure they're on the ball, getting those last hits as necessary. But I think a very deciding factor will be how much the supports stack up for the Gyrocopter.
Maybe we're gonna see a first blood here. Will he use first Ice Pet or no?
Nope,
No, definitely not.
Just gonna get on out of there.
You always need to let Shadow Demon to be in the first position because of disruption, and after that comes Ice Pet from Jakiro.
Very true, very true. As far as experience per minute goes, both Windrunner and Darkseer are doing extremely poorly, but at least Windrunner is getting a little bit. They have pushed the lane out a couple times. She has been going in a little bit gutsy and only taken a few auto attacks of damage to kind of recompense for that. Instead, it's going to be Darkseer that's sitting at absolutely 0 experience per minute, not getting a drop, and so he's probably going to have to transition into the jungle at some point. He is getting some gold from the creep kills from the Ion Shell, but I don't know if it's going to be enough to actually allow him to fuel up his abilities when he's still sitting at bare bones level 1.
Well, yeah, it's kind of true, but let's say for beginning, he only needs like Soul Ring, and then it can move back and take a little bit of experience. We see some small action at mid, fighting Nice Toka against Brewmaster. It's kind of funny. Two really strong nukers.
He's going for it though. He's diving the tower. He has the Ace Ring
maybe
pop.
first blood.
Yeah, was looking for it, but the Void comes on through. The last tower auto attack will not do it. And the question is he going to try to go for the rune? Yeah.
Actually, Brewmaster survived with 15 HP.
Yeah, just that tower attack not enough to do it, and instead Exodus is going to cover the bottom rim, pick up that illusion. Surprised he didn't give it to the Night Stalker, but I guess he's just going to go for the Bottle Crow. No, he's not even Bottle Crowing, so I kind of feel that with no dire heroes, 3D Max didn't have anybody but Windrunner anywhere nearby. I think that Night Stalker could have had out and picked up that rune instead of the Jakiro. But one way or another, I'm sure he'll get his bottle flowing. Yeah, he's going to courier it up. It is only a land courier, though, and it will be kind of inhibiting the flow of items to his allies on the lane. In the meantime, Hesta Joe returns. TP is back on in. He doesn't have Boots of Speed yet, but he doesn't have that magic wand.
Look at the bottom, look at the bottom.
Oh,
there
yeah.
goes Disruption.
Soul Catcher is on out. The homing missile is ready to go. Ice Path. This is going to be a kill, I believe. Yeah, just too much path block, and the barrage. Here comes the rocket to finish the job, and that's going to be first blood for the Gyrocopter right here.
First blood for Makito.
So that's pretty favorable for them, starting off with a good start on the Gyrocopter, not only topping out CS at 2714, but picking up that first blood. It's going to give him a substantial amount of GPM. Look at his gold already. He has Basilius and 1800. I mean, he could go for like a straight Helmet Dominator and stack like crazy, or whatever he really wants to.
But the thing is, will his support gotta stack him Asians, or they will just stack strong neutral camp? Yeah, look this.
So it looks like the Brewmaster was trying to roam around and collect runes. He didn't have vision on the bottom, so just wanted to make sure that it was covered up, and that illusion rune is definitely gone. It's been long gone at this point in time, but now he is actually in a pretty bad position here. Night Stalker shows off the Void. They get the disruption on him. No, the Brewmaster ultimate comes out. He's turning it around, throws out the rocks, and is trying to put some damage out, but the Surge makes sure that he cannot pursue. So he's just going to have to fall back from here, and kind of not sure what he's doing right now. But yeah, he's going to be able to fall back and do a little bit of long-range harassment, but in the end, he just had to pop off his ultimate with the 4-man gank coming in. You really can't do too much more than that.
He just wants to nuke a bit with his stun, nothing else. Shadow Demon is holding the room for Nice Talker. Nice Talker is not going for his Darkness on level 6. He's maxing Silence and Void.
Wow, actually, I didn't even think about that. Crippling Fear, rank 3, you usually don't see that early on. Generally speaking, you at least put them in Hunter the Night if you're not going to put them in Darkness, but no, he really wants to go for long duration silences, either to shut down the Brewmaster or possibly the Windrunner. I mean, really, I don't know exactly what specifically he's going for. It's really good for making sure the enemy misses and isn't able to cast spells. Double damage comes on through. The Disruption will come on out. They're looking for the Soul Catcher. The Ion Shell is through as well. Just a little bit more damage is all they need. The Void will slow him down to a crawl, and they will be able to bring him down right here. Last right click to the Darkseer with the Ion Shell, actually. So he's going to pick up the Soul Ring from that kill.
Definitely. Definitely.
Thank you.
And Nice Talker will continue to farm. I'm not sure will he get right now Earn. There goes a level 1 of Hunter in the Night. Will he get Earn or going for, like, let's say maybe Vanguard or something like that?
Yep, Ace transitions in to get a couple last hits and denies on the wave, get up to level 3 there, but he really can't do-si-do with this Night Stalker, with that rank 3 silence especially. 7 seconds without Windrun is just suicidal pretty much, and obviously they don't know that rank specifically, but if it ever comes to light, then obviously they're going to have a lot of issues there. But continuing to farm, 48 last hits on the Gyrocopter. He's really looking for some big item, 2,800 saved up, so he can build up just about anything. I mean, maybe go for the Yasha, and it actually didn't catch the kill up on top. There was some aggression coming out with the Nyx Assassin and the Wisp, and allowing the Chaos Knight to pick up the kill on the Darkseer. So nice play there, and mostly allotting that to the fact that he's only level 3, doesn't have but 680 HP, and can get locked down pretty hard if the Chaos Bolt goes up to 3 or 4 seconds.
I also didn't catch top kill, but I was watching what's Carry doing at the bottom with all his gold. He got 3k gold, Mark 8. What's he's gonna do with all that money? I mean gold.
So there's a little bit of dual mid action going on against Brewmaster here. He does have his ultimate up in 10 seconds, as well as a lot of charges on the Magic Wand, so not going to have too many issues with this Soulcatcher Disruption, but they kind of want to go for it, and that's kind of surprising. They don't really, they have the illusions to tank up, and they can put some damage pressure out, but they can't bring him down, especially with that ultimate now available there. But I think, yeah, the really key hero that you're going to be looking at is Makito on that Gyrocopter. As soon as he picks up something big, you're going to really feel the impact directly on the game itself. Actually popping off a homing missile just to make sure Ace is as far away from the creep wave as possible.
Yeah. Just stay out of my farming. Get out of my way.
Sure enough, sure enough. And so he's going to get something big. I mean, you're going to see a like a Manta style and boots come out or something. I don't know, but he's going to have
nice evade on mid. Maybe you didn't catch that, but it was a really nice evade on mid for Clap. But the thing is that Nice Talker doesn't have mana enough for a second Void.
Gotcha. So that means that he wasn't able to bring him down before the ultimate came out. So that's the second time this game that the Brewmaster has been able to use the Primal Split to save himself from a very, very unfortunate death. So that's been pretty good for him. In the meantime, MZM is getting picked off on the top lane. There was the Reality Rift followed with the Tether, and now with the 3-second chaos spell, he is most surely dead with the kill gun of the Nyx Assassin. So they're going to be able to just completely farm up against that Darkseer. He's getting trickles and trickles of experience, just a little bit better than Windrunner, but he has died more so. She's only died once, and he has died a couple times himself. So that puts him pretty far behind, when the fact of the matter is Chaos Knight's going to get pretty big as well. Starting off with Treads, has the drum coming out fully, so he's going to have a lot of mobility, a lot of attack speed, movement speed, whatever he needs to bring down the opposition here. And the Relocate is available. I'm not sure if they're going to use it just yet. They are on bottom lane. Here comes a big fight and engagement. Windrunner is going to be able to say a lot. Makito is getting Surge on away. Will they get the stun? They do. That Chaos Bolt will finish off the Gyrocopter. Now heading over. Look at MZM. The Wisp cannot get stunned out if he wants to break the tether. He's just going to take the Chaos Knight away, and Hesta Joe will fall back for the time being. On the back end of things, though, Night Stalker picking up Ace, finds the Crippling Fear, cancels out the Windrun, and for that, he's going to be able to bring down one hero in turn. But Hesta Joe going to make his long journey back, and unfortunately, he's getting kind of flanked in. Shadow Demon going to be able to disrupt him up right here. He's trying to hide in the trees. Can he juke this is the question. Can he hide? And
Can he?
Oh my gosh, if he gets away with this, this is so insane. Oh, I think they found him right there. Wow.
Nope.
Oh my gosh,
Nope.
that is so crazy right there. Hesta Joe coming out with the big jukes. And he has absolutely no idea what's on the outside waiting for him.
God.
That's hilarious.
Oh my freaking god, he's gonna stay there.
Oh no, oh no.
Oh my god.
There's just a Darkseer. You can do it, you can get out. You can just TP right now. No vacuum. The disruption's gone, Ice Path will come. Ice Path come through. He could TP right now. Or Primal Split. Yeah, TP. Oh, Void's gonna come. There it goes.
Void.
Cleans it up.
Yeah.
Kosan's coming in for the kill.
We were different.
Oh my
It
god,
was
that was
really,
ridiculous.
really nice juke. Then oh my god, really.
Yeah, that just brought a smile on my face that he almost actually got out there. If he had just gone to the east, he would have been home free. That is amazing how they were just like 2 inches away from his face, but Fog of War a little bit too strong, and he was able to use it effectively, but just not effectively enough after he came on out. So now we are kind of transitioning back into a standard game of farm. Try to get Makito some big items here. He is going for possibly a BKB rush. Could go for a Desolator, but you don't generally see it because it doesn't apply through Flat Cannon. So yeah, probably going to look for the BKB just to survive the stuns coming out of Chaos Knight, Wisp, Brewmaster. Everybody has stuns, really. Every single hero on 3D Max has powerful stuns, so BKB rush, not too bad. Going to give him some good base strength and damage as well, so that's going to be interesting. And now on top lane, there was the Drum of Endurance and the Tether to make sure that Chaos Knight could get in range for that rank 4 Reality Rift. Just such range of initiation with that mobility. And now they're going to relocate. Where'd they go? They're on bottom. Look at Makito. They're going to be able to bring him down. The Clap going to finish the job. Now looking for Nino. The Night Stalker is here. It is darkness. You see on the clock. It's definitely nighttime. And now Nino is in really, really big trouble. Hesta Joe does not have his Clap up yet. And they keep on changing their focus. Now that Wisp is out of the picture, I don't think they're going to be able to capitalize on a kill here. Void wasted on an illusion from Hack, and now they're going to be trying to pin them in down here. They get some vision, and now the Crypto Fear does come out of Brewmaster, but the Impale will go on through, as well as that Chaos Bolt. Now looking for some Reality Rift action. Bullen and Nino shackled over to onto Hesta Joe. They are both caught out their completely daytime strikes, and now the Brewmaster ultimate comes on out. Nice little call down will bring down the Nyx Assassin, but the Night Stalker has fallen. Now looking for Jakiro. Stun will come out on him in just a second, and the question is, Makito, will he be able to bring out enough damage to keep bring down Ace and keep Ace alive? And unfortunately, no. The Jakiro will fall, and now with the Tornado, I think they're just going to walk away from this very effectively. But on the back end of things, beautiful shackle on MZM. Ace on the run, but he doesn't have wind run for just 5 seconds. Will they get the homing missile on out? I don't believe so. I think he's gone, and that was just a really brilliant exchange.
No, he's going to catch him. He's going to catch him. He's going to catch him.
They can auto-attack down the rocket, though. He's going to go for it. The Clap, the Tether. There's the rocket. Are they going to be able to bring it down? I believe one more right click. Yeah, it's
2 and
the tower, and oh no, well, it doesn't matter. He's going to survive no matter what. But yeah, interesting chase going on through there.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I'm not sure will Brewmaster go straight for Dagger or going for maybe Force Staff or Scepter.
Yeah, it's hard to say, really. I'm not entirely sure what he's going to be looking for there.
If you ask me, I would go first for Dagger in this situation, or maybe Force Staff. It really depends.
Yeah, I mean, they do have a lot of range of initiation already with the Chaos Knight and that long-range Reality Rift, but nothing better than a Blink Clap. It's just, you can hit on 3 different people, reduce their, not only movement speed, but their attack speed considerably for 4 full seconds. It really changes the pace of a fight. And now back on bottom lane, they're popping up the Reality Rift and bringing down Dark Hopper really fast. The Destruction does came out defensively, but I'm not sure if it will keep him alive. It will not, with the Spirits coming on through. Soul Catcher's on Chaos Knight, but that does not inhibit him from bringing down the Jakiro and the Shadow Demon as well. So 3 kills and a tower for absolutely nothing. They didn't even have to commit a relocate to that. Really brilliant play with 3D Max, just coming in, finding the enemy's weakness, knowing that they couldn't respond appropriately, and getting a good gank. Now relocate on mid, looking for Night Stalker. It is a Daywalker right now with the Reality Rift and a Tether, and the 4-second stun. He's completely roasted, and now they're going to look at a tier 1 in mid. If they get 2 towers and 4 kills out of this, they just completely swung the game around in their favor by far.
Radiant structures are fortified. Dire's top tower is under attack.
1 second, just...
Alright, so they are looking for it. The Fortified does pop off for the time being. The Destruction comes on out. Will he be able to deny? The deny does not come out. Brewmaster instead on the run with the Soul Catcher up. Has to get on out of there, but I think no, the Ice Path hits him, and that should be enough to bring him down right here. So Hesta Joe on the run, not going to be able to get on out of there. Instead, it's going to be Hack popping off the Vendetta. Ace with his wind run, all just trying to run for their lives, and it looks like they were able to get it, but the big deal there is that there was no deny on the tower. The tower was able to be dropped down by 3D Max, and SNS just not able to negate that gold gain that they were going to acquire from it. So Chaos Knight with that will be able to finish up his Arma and look for more. He just wants kill after kill after kill. Buller has no relocate for 25 seconds, but they can still be so mobile and so active. The one thing though, they are underneath the Radiant Ward here. The enemy knows exactly where they are, but the Haste Rune has been acquired, and that is just going to have such a dominating presence right here. Everybody's going to have to fall back. They see this on the Radiant Ward and they need to run. Exodus has to get out of there or he is going to just get completely demolished. And it's going to be the Darkseer that they find out with that Reality Rift and going to be able to bring him down. Mega kill streak for Noya. And they can just do so much here. They don't need to necessarily push a tower. They've gotten so many kills, but that ward really helped them out to find that initiation. They know it's warded because they did go beyond fog to get that Reality Rift off, but in the end it worked out pretty well.
If you look at the gold right now, difference is 7k for Dire, and experience is also 7k for Dire. So that's not a big deal. They still didn't lose the game. There is always a comeback.
Yeah, with that Gyrocopter getting more and more farmed, he does have more potential, but he needs that BKB so desperately right now, and it's going to be a little while before he can acquire that. And Darkness has been all but wasted with that Night Stalker, activating it and then pretty much not capitalizing on it in any way, shape, or form, popping out a couple of voids, but nothing more. And so that he's got a long time in the sun, 140 seconds left on his ultimate cooldown, and that's a pretty vulnerable point for him to not have that available. They're going to smoke up. They want the aggression to keep rolling because they know they can initiate on this. They can go appropriately, and the enemy doesn't have wards. They have no idea, and so they're just waiting for somebody to come farm the jungle, and it might be the Shadow Demon. Nino coming in, just going to go to the bottom lane, and so they're lucky about that, but they're going to initiate instead on Exodus. Coming down in, cast ult, and the clap going on through. Was that a Blink Dagger? I believe it was. Exodus going to drop down here as well as Shadow Demon with nice action from the Nyx, and now they're going to be able to take off the Night Stalker with the tether, and that's the problem of being in the daylight. You just can't move. And 3 seconds stun on Darkseer, that is going to be another kill, so 4 down for absolutely nothing. They're just going to walk away from this with 3 kills. That is ridiculous, and the Brewmaster just throwing the Gyrocopter up in the air. He's like, take to the skies, friend, because there's obviously no place for you here. So that is going to be an easy, clean kill, and they're going to be looking for most likely a Roshan as a result of that. They can take him down pretty effectively with just the amount of damage
well, if you look at the minimap, you should see that there is still camps stacked here for Gyro, and no one took it.
Yeah, suppose so. There are a couple double-stacked camps, and actually, yeah, more satyrs over here too. So 3 different double-stacked camps. He's going to be able to farm those up quickly if he can actually get into his jungle, but right now, the map control is so wholeheartedly in the hands of 3D Max, it's going to be difficult to go there without completely getting locked down there. No observer wards for the time being, but it looks like there's going to be a smoke. They're going to try to counter-initiate on the Roche pet. They do have a rank 3 vacuum, but the Roche has already fallen. Noya picking up that Aegis, and it's too little too late. Even now, Hasta Joe could initiate with that Blink Dagger, and here comes Nino to start things off, try to make the initiation. They got the Ice Path, aid the disruption.
Oh my god.
Impale. Beautiful Impale coming out through, and also
beautiful.
Yeah, that cooldown going to do a lot of damage, though. Hack going to take a fall. Hasta Joe coming on in, trying to bring down the Makito, and they actually are going to be able to do it with just right clicks alone. Bowler getting a double kill out of that, looking for MZM. He has that rank 2 surge, but it's not enough to get away from Brewmaster, popping off that Drunken Haste. No, just the clap, but it will be enough. The surge just coming on out, but 2 seconds done. The tether will come on through, and they will be able to secure that kill as well. Shakiro back up to respawn, only to be thrown back into the frying pan if he wants to come in on this. But yeah, they take the Roshan, they take another fight, despite getting a smoke initiated on in a great position from SNS. They came up, they flanked up in this position here, they got the right initiation, but they stacked the Ice Path and the Disruption so that they couldn't get the stun and get some damage on CK. Now they would have been able to bring him down, as he does have that Aegis of the Immortal, but would have helped them a little bit more in their initiation there. I did love the damage from Gyrocopter, it just wasn't enough to bring down the entire team now that the mechanism is on the field, specifically in the hands of the Wisp, who can do so much with that tether mechanic.
I really don't know what to say about now. You should never ever fight without a wall if you have Darkseer in your team, especially when you have that imba combo with wall, with Ice Path, with Gyro's ulti. I mean, come on, you can kill everyone almost.
Fair enough. Yeah, it's a really large amount of damage there, and with the Phantasms on top of everything, using that armlet to increase their strength effectively by 25 does give them a bit more base damage. And now finding out Nino, that was just completely out of position, and they don't even need to pop the Chaos Bolt, but they indeed do. But it's just such a strong combo because the Reality Rift puts them behind them, allowing the tether to stun up, and that's a pretty long duration stun, well over 2 seconds. And now they're going to push into the enemy base, just completely fearless right now. It's like, okay, you have a tier 3, but we have just such a dominating team fight right now. We have so many items, we have the mechanism for durability, and we have this huge, beyond 15,000 golden experience experience gain comparison. So we can just completely walk in 3D Max just ready to rock and roll against this tower. Backdoor protection has fallen, so they're just going to go for it. Rank 2 overcharge, empowering Noya to do as much attack as possible, but just going to wait for that to proc on out, and then going to go behind the creep wave. So this is where they need to act. This is where SNS has to fight, but I don't even know if they can take it here. So in their own base, they're getting pressured really hardcore, and it looks like the disruption will not stop the homing missile. Nice damage coming out of the call down. Will the Black Cannon barrage. Noya is going to take a fall here, but the H will come back up. Brewmaster popping off the primal split. Looking for Night Stalker. It is nighttime, but only 200 of the night. He might not even get out of here. Just too much path block, too much damage. They're going to drop him down. 4 seconds on a Darkseer. He will take a fall as well. Now looking for the Gyrocopter. Going to be able to focus him down really hardcore. Nyx Assassin going to proc off the Carapace on just a little bit of barrage action, and I don't think that Soul Catcher is going to really improve their situation here. So that is just really, they're going to take the tier 3, and I gotta say it's pretty close to good game right here.
Yeah, definitely pretty close. This combo is also good with CK and Nyx, not to mention that Wisp can tether and fort whenever he wants and wherever he wants. So I don't know, without BKB you just can't fight, and without wall.
Yeah, that was just really, really effective team play from 3D Max in general here, and they've been able to do pretty much whatever they want across the map. They did some pretty good wards, specifically the ward on the plateau here was too late for the Radiant and really good timing for the Dire. So 3D Max putting that ward up on the plateau gave them vision for a number of big ganks. I'd say they probably got 2 big team fight skirmishes that initiated appropriately on their end just from that alone. The fact of the matter is, Hestajo was able to survive a couple early game flanking ganks, so in the laning phase, there was a lot of good support roaming, but it didn't really come to much. Hestajo survived, and Chaos Knight continued to farm up until he was ready to start ganking, and when that came into play, his KDA just shot through the roof. I mean, look, 7-0, 18, 8-0, 16 on CK and Wisp respectively, so that is just so much kills and assists that you can't really ignore that. There's just so much gold coming in from that, and it just tells the story of how they're obviously sitting 28-7 right now, doing so much throughout, going from the laning phase, which is kind of not that interesting, but moving on to a very aggressive mid game that was able to be all over the map, relocating up, getting kill, and then relocating for a second one right off the bat. So really nice play. They were very active, very mobile, and it definitely put them in charge of this game, despite going up against the Night Stalker at nighttime.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Well, Night Stalker can't do anything right now, especially because he doesn't have BKB, level 1 ulti. Nothing. Wisp has 8-0-17.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Radiant's top tower.
It really is. I mean, that's like the pro KDA. That's like if you're going support and you get that kind of KDA, there's nothing you did wrong in that game at all. You're just on the ball, keeping aggressive,
Not
staying active. And yeah, they didn't focus on the Wisp at all. One thing I gotta say about SNS is if they target the Wisp a little bit more actively early on, there's a lot of benefits that he provides that people underrate. The tether stun, the overcharge going through, a little bit of damage from the spirits, but the biggest thing is that mechanism, healing up to like 625 single target, it just can pull somebody out of a bad spot. The team fight is broken out, and the initiation come on through. Darkseer taking too much damage, just pop off a vacuum. He may or may not fall right here. Yeah, the Earth Panda stun, gonna guarantee it, and with that BKB up on Noya, he can just walk on around, Ice Path, whatever, do whatever he needs to do, and he's gonna kill somebody easily right here. Looking for the Gyrocopter, 3 seconds stun, the power shot, going to finish that off there, and they're going to be able to clean up this, no problem at all. Good game, should be called out in just a second, because this is going to be the second Rax.
There goes GG. Well played by 3D Max.
Indeed. So awesome start for 3D Max going on through round 1. This is a best of 1 single elimination tournament until the finals anyways. So that means that they are going to be advancing, and unfortunately for SNS, they're going to have to go back to the drawing board and hopefully do well in the DotaBro league so that they can move back up to the top 16 slots and be able to jump on into the tournament. So that's yeah, pretty much what we're looking at there. They're going to go 3D Max into round 2. I don't know who they're going to be up against just yet as far as brackets go, but we'll give you updates as those come to us. In the meantime, just to let you guys know what DotaBro is, specifically DotaBro.com is an in-house league where you join up, you sign in through Steam on the web browser, and you join up with 4 friends, make a team of 5, and then you get to team matchmaking up against enemies, get the in-house password, and just go up and down as far as a bracket with the matchmaking rating and everything. So when you get top 16, you get to go into these tournaments here, and obviously we saw how SNS going up against 3D Max trying to come out with some money here, but unfortunately going to go home with nothing. Yeah, going to have to rise up the brackets once more. So this was a very fun game to cast, very active, and I'm glad that we had the opportunity.
Yeah, same for my side, let's say. Thanks for casting, Blaze.
Sure enough.
let's go for another one.
Absolutely. So we generally they're scheduled at the top of the hour, but fortunately we took a little bit getting started, so we're actually going to go on to the next game in just a couple minutes here, guys. So this was Blaze casting
tuned.
and FearSC casting up this for the official English stream of the DotaBro BroTournament #1. So thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we'll get back to you guys in just a minute.
Stay tuned.